Long anticipation has awaited the league known as BPNR. Each season can now finally begin, and they will kick off Speed Weeks with the all-mighty clash. Well, mighty, kinda. Will it actually be great? Really depends. Originally, it was meant to be a 9-car field given a rule set, but due to low interest, Lyle decided to open it up to everyone, so we got more cars than we bargained for. So, Happy Hour is currently ongoing with qualifying randomized. So, let's see what happened. William Viola was selected to be on the pole award with Leda Lau alongside in the front row. Then it is Daniel Rodriguez with Steven Gibson in row 2. I'm not racing, so that'll mean McGarry's and Jonathan Salos in row 3, with Tyler Aziz and Dylan Negron in row 4. Kirsten Bell led along back in row 5 with Harry Crawford and Alexander Gonzalez Green in row 6. Harry Crawford won the holiday season, which was all Super Speedways, and Alexander Gonzalez Green is your current defending BPNR champion of the main series. Then there's Dallas Shake and Austin Barnett. Jelani Howell, yes, the name is Ottawa Emu, but that's just Jelani in disguise, with Cole Mather. Behind them are Clements, Lacasse, Friesen, and Cole Rodriguez, riding out the 20-car field for tonight. Similar faces, but they're all scattered around as off-season changes have emerged. Tyler Aziz no longer at Scuderia Carmona Racing as I believe he's on his lonesome with now breeding a Toyota. Dallas Shake, I don't have a scar number for some reason. What else do I make notes? Steven Gibson, I don't think he wasn't a 51 last time, so yes, he did change numbers. He's in a 21 car this time. The champion's number of number 11 is now on him backs, as the champion was given first pick of number, and for Alexander Gonzalez Green, that meant he can switch over to the 18, which was originally occupied by Parker Ness. Well, you'll still see Parker Ness sport the 18, but it's just different numbering. So AGG will rock the 18 for scoring, and again for scoring purposes, Parker Ness will be the 118 through this season. And I suppose speaking of qualifying, well, we still have a little bit of time left before the race goes green flag. BPNR had opted for a different qualifying method for the big Daytona 125. So, it began yesterday actually, or was it yesterday? I believe so. Yes, so yesterday at midnight, qualifying was open, and the way you do it is, well, at most times through the next 8 days, you could set a qualifying lap. Now, you're only allowed one run, so that allows anyone to, if this way it doesn't pinpoint a specific date and time, so if you have those 8 days to set a qualifying run fast enough to get into the show, hopefully. Spreadsheet on the side here. Currently, 23 cars have set a qualifying time for the Daytona 125. Cole Rodriguez, currently the fastest with a 49.882, and Tyler Aziz, second fastest with a 49.892. Still lots of people, notable people, who haven't set a run yet. That my immediate is the defending champion Alexander Gonzalez Green. No clue when he will set his run, but well, he has until next Monday at 11:59 p.m. to set that qualifying lap, and those will set the dual races for next Tuesday at this same time. So enough about qualifying, talk about tonight. Got 25 laps, and new for BPNR this season, they're using CTS physics for the plate races, so we can expect a lot more side-by-side action. Set to 30 laps, but that's just for overtime reasons. And we should be good to go to race finally. And like I mentioned a few streams back, BPNR with a new broadcasting BPNR full time. Well, except for one race, but we'll get to that. So it has its own graphics package. I hope you like it and get to see in full action. I am using proper number cards so it better resembles the drivers, but I wasn't able to grab everyone, so and especially given how late Lyle posted the announcement to free up the entry list restrictions. So not everyone will get a number card for tonight, but hopefully come next Tuesday when the duels begin, everyone can be represented fairly. 25 laps for tonight. Overtime is possible, and game yellows for this time. You see that choose cone right there, and physical choose cone along with the usual triangle. And that's a neat little addition Silos made to this variant of Daytona Rising Night. Okay, 20 cars hit the grid. We are due for a pit stop eventually. It's just a matter of when. Just off the Daytona Beach coastline, the pace car shall head in. It is Viola and Lau who make up the front row, and July Howe already died. How do you do this, bro? This man is special.
Drivers, to your
So
car.
point and laugh at Jelani, I suppose. But we get to do this again. His ass is not Goku. But yes, we're due for a pit stop. Fuel tank around here with 2x can take you up to 20 laps without fuel saving. So that's just on normal race pace. So I theorize that most people are gonna opt for one can, assuming there's no caution. I I would say you can maybe get away with half a can, but in the event of overtime, maybe doing one can is probably the better strategy. But that's really up for them to decide. I don't think Tyler is that harsh to require any tire changes. But that's really up for these drivers to plan out once they get the ball rolling. Got 1.5 weeks of action. Got tonight with the Clash. Dual races on next Tuesday. And then a real big surprise Friday night will be the LCQ as well as the main event, the Daytona 125. Pace car heads in. I don't know why we're doing choose cone now, but sure. Viola and Lau, green flag from Daytona. Viola already tugging to the yellow line, leaving Landon Lau having to work with Gibson on the top side. Currently 5 at the bottom now, Aziz tucks into the inside, making 6. As I say that, Viola is blocking both lanes like his name is Junebug. Currently only 2 on the top lane, and I allow help for Gibson. Currently side by side is Dallas shaking Alexander Gonzalez Green, who nearly makes contact, but so far so good. We did complete the opening lap this time around, so we should stay green. I should mention that I don't know if it's just for this race, as Gibson is warping, but they have opted for in-game cautions this time, so no more confusion on whether or not caution is called. I just hope that Let Allow, the in-race admin for tonight, has the proper hotkey for it. D-Dog goes up to the wall, make 3-wide move for Let Allow to retain the lead on the outside lane. Well, could need control of the outside lane, I should say. William Viola has not left the bottom lane, as he is currently getting pushed by Nick Grana and Barnett in a 2-car, which I do not have the car file. Dallas shake really sideways back there, but he keeps it straight. This car is already out of control, and we're only on the 3rd lap out of 25. Rodriguez, last time we saw him, he was in a Ford, I believe. So this swap over to Toyota meant he's got more allies to partner up with and good ones at that. Currently in between Alexander Gonzalez Green and Daniel Rodriguez, both known users of the Toyota camp. Got 3-wide. Joshua Clemens to the wall. And it's only still Landon Lyle and Gibson in the middle, so Clements and Cruz should make quick work of them. But that's only allowing the inside to pull away as we got 3 cars in the air. It is Aziz spinning with July Howell and Austin Barnett also collected. Caution has been called. It is still race back to the line, but we use in-game cautions this time round. And it will be William Viola who wins the race back with Nick Grant second. And Clemens was just shy of taking 3rd away from Crawford. Take a look at what happened. So it started with Aziz. Who's gonna ride on board with July Howell for this one. It looked to me like bumper grab when we saw it live, but we shall wait and see what the replay tells us. A stack up in front. Barnett bumper grabs Aziz, who bumper grabs Jelani Howell. So all 3 of them go spinning towards the inside wall, which is now paved on this version, much to my credit. So first caution of the night in the BPNR clash is they're horrifically slow. That's because they are waiting for the pace car, if I can get to it. Currently puttering at 70 miles per hour. And finally, the field has let them by. Pit lane is open this time round. It's also ironically the best time to pit because fill up from here and you can make it to the end, the scheduled end distance of 25 laps. And no one stayed out, so yes, that shall be the case for every strategist within this field. Viola has the advantage here with the first pit box that will have to make use of it. Splash and go for the 27 car. He'll win off pit lane with Negron, Crawford, Gibson, and Cole Rodriguez running out your top 5 out of the pits. I don't think it will be one to green this time, given most of the field is still catching up. Some are opting for 4 tires, which is fair enough. And Gibson Clemens really slow. He's gonna let Kirsten by. Strange move, but I don't know what he's thinking. Bit of checking up going on as Carter Friesen dipping to the grass here. And I believe he has a black flag, so he's gonna go to the rear. But yes, the choose cone that is new for this season. Well, the choose cone rule has been a thing, but this yellow cone is an addition here. You only see this during yellow caution flags, so this is more popularized in dirt tracks in NR, but OSCC was the first league to revolutionize this when they did have a choose cone rule. So BPNR gets a taste at it, starting with tonight's race. And some drivers are gonna opt back to the pit lane. Might as well get every ounce of fuel possible. I did say you could make 20 laps, but that is a bit of a stretch if you're not careful. So for most of these guys, you rather play it safe, take an extra lap of fuel right now in exchange of track position. So out of the second group, Gibson will lead that group with Aziz and Cole Rodriguez. Then it shall be Barnett with Jelani Howell. And that is Carter Friesen on the inside wall and Joshua Clements doing burnouts for God knows why. Look back here. Looks like he just get some heat into the rear, so see the point of that at Daytona of all places, but go off, I guess. Back live. Currently lap 7 of 25 under the first caution, but we will be choosing this time with that very noticeable choose cone. Jelani hit first car to hit it. I don't know the ruling on this, whether you have to, whether you are allowed to hit the orange part of the choose cone or not. In the holiday season, it was popularized as well as the Super Speedway races in season 7 of the main season. Uh, hmm. Haven't really got an official ruling on whether how strict they are in regards to choose cone, but we are back underway. It is Viola and Negron leading us to green. 7 laps complete. Negron got a better jump, but is gonna immediately lose that speed into turn 1 as Landau is not immediately onto him. A little bit of separation towards the back. It is the top 9 with, well, a little bit of distance towards second pack, but that has quickly been enclosed with Laudenbach and Lacasse working together to reel them back in with the draft of the 14 car. A little bit of contact towards the front, but no harm, no foul. Side by side towards the front, but we got 3 cars trying the outside lane being led by Laudenbach, Lacasse, and Friesen. The only 3-car tandem towards the top. McGarry's in the circle hole, is gonna join the outside lane, and so it landed loud from second on the top lane. Or what was the top lane, now became the middle lane. That will leave Nick Gron in the sucker hole this time, but he was able to quickly take away the space Talaziz was trying to occupy on that bottom lane. So back to 2 lanes. Mostly single file with a few rogues trying the outside lane, but that's going to be broken apart as there's 3 wide with also Dallas Shake towards the front of the queue, not getting any help on the top most lane. Well, Dallas Shake really, he's just been having strange car control issues. I don't know if it's just on a new method of control, like I don't know what he used prior, but he might be using a wheel now. I don't know, but or may have moved over to a controller. Whatever it may be, he's definitely having some car control issues. It appears to be self-inflicted via overcorrection. On board with Jelani, one of the 3 cars who got collected in the first caution on lap 5 has found himself back up to P7, currently about to hit lap 12 of 25, almost at halfway. Now the field definitely has strong single file as Gibson has been jostled out of the 3rd place spot and will drop to the back of this field. But that before some assistance from Alexander Gonzalez Green, gonna try to push him towards the mid pack at very minimum to lose as little positions as possible, and they were able to do so. Gibson falls down to 7th place. And that chain reaction allows some side-by-side towards the back of the pack with Houston Bell, Cole Rodriguez, Cameron McGill is at the 96 for this season, with the cast, Dallas Shake, Landon Lau, and Carter Friesen, kind of just playing caboose for the time being. We have now breached the halfway point of the Season 8 BPNR clash, as Talus is going to get shuffled out of line and gonna lose a couple positions, but is able to flock back down to the inside lane. July Howell moves up to the top lane, leading that charge with that being Gibson, and Alexander Gonzalez Green directly behind him. More or less devolved into a field game. When we went back green, it was 18 to go, so while you could still make it, it's just, I don't know about Viola's case because he is leading, he is burning the most amount of fuel, he is going to have to go to a caution flag, I believe, as, yep, caution is out. So a wreck towards the back is going to help Viola. I was gonna say that he is punching the biggest hole for this pack unintentionally, but that's just the consequence of being a leader. But this caution definitely helps him, as well as everyone else who may be tight on fuel or predicted when they're going to go to overtime and want to play it safe. Caution on lap 15 of 30. We shall see what happened. Start back here. Saw a spin. So, looked like a bad block from Dallas Shake, and that caused Landon to go into the wall and back down in front of traffic, i.e. the two cars that are directly behind him. That being McGillies, Carter Friesen somehow avoided it, but that blowover definitely was warranted of a caution. Then it's Carter Friesen who just dives into the pit. That's going to be a black flag, and being real, just something you shouldn't be doing at all. Try rear cam from Dallas Shake. So Landon, who started this race second, is just been falling backwards and now finds himself with damage. They're split this time. Viola stays out with Crawford, Negron, Aziz, and Dallas Shake. The rest of the field opts to pit for fuel, reassuring themselves that they do not need another stop. At least hopefully. It's gonna be Gibson who wins off pit lane with the cast second. It'll be Barnett third, Lottenbach fourth, Kirsten Bell fifth. And you can see the 96 car, Cameron McElreath, spending a little more time repairing the car. He's back out onto the speedway. Lap 16 of 25 under the second caution tonight for a two-car accident through turns 3 and 4 after a bad block by Dallas Shake. So, excuse me. Still under caution for time being. Could have gone green, but I don't think everyone was caught up. Might as well mention Tyler Aziz while we're here. Currently running 4th place. Currently in sort of a hot streak, really. He's won OSCC at Iowa, and then on, that was on Saturday. Sunday, he went into HOC, a hybrid online-offline league where it's mostly made up of offline cars, but there are online players also racing. So Talaziz was part of that league, and in the ARCA division, I believe it was, he won at Talladega. It should have given him great motivation heading into the SRA Talladega on that same day. And despite wrecking on lap 6 via a mid-corner bump shot, he was able to gather up his composure and make his way up to finish P3, helping him in the point standings after his championship rival Johnson Solos had an engine failure in the closing laps. And then yesterday, it was nurse car action from Atlanta Motor Speedway, and he just played his strategy perfectly. He saved the best and won of that race. So that is, from his understanding, is 4 wins this year, which is already more than what he's done all of 2025. Just going this time, Aziz, first on the top lane, most drivers flock to the bottom. So it shall be William Viola, still the race leader, but it is Tyler Aziz with the charge to lead the outside lane this time, with Crawford behind Viola and Gibson behind Aziz. As they come round, we shall see the pace car dive in, and that would mean we got 8 laps until the scheduled distance race and green flag back out from Daytona. Dead even this time, but Viola's still able to capitalize into turn 1. A little bit of a miscommunication between these two, but no wreck was triggered from it, but that definitely cost them some speed. Someone blinked out. Their current line that was Ian Lacasse, and that is nearly a death sentence from the defending champion, Alexander Gonzalez Green. Aziz flex down to the bottom, putting in 5th in line. Now it is Stephen Gibson leading the outside with very few cars compared to the inside lane. 4 versus, I want to say 11 by this point. But we do have one retirement. There's 18 cars that started. Daniel Rodriguez, the only retirement in this race. On board with Kirsten Bell. She's currently listed 8th place, and she's gonna have a little bit of work to do to make her way towards the lead. As laps are winding down, we're counting to 6 to go this time. A little bit of sneaking going on towards the outside, and that will shovel out Dallas Shake in the 82. Now dropping back to the rear, which is probably for the better, not gonna lie. A little bit of separation towards the inside. It is Austin Barnett 5th place in line, but he's got a gap between him and Kirsten Bell, who is currently being pushed by Landon Lonnebeck, but then Lonnebeck decides he's gonna try the outside lane down. There are more cars on the outside versus the inside. So this will shake things up as the leaders have reached 5 laps to go. There is a possibility of overtime, hence the 5 extra laps. If you got the right pushers, you can definitely make it outside lane work, and it's definitely working for AGG's favor due to the fact that there are very few cars on the bottom lane. Currently 3rd in line, pushing Lacasse, who is going to try to push Stephen Gibson towards the front. But not before Viola goes for a block, and that's going to stack that outside lane of AGG, able to avoid enough contact to trigger an accident. Viola has been putting on a dominating performance after winning pole award. And Assuming we don't go into overtime, it looks like he's going to be the winner of this race. But P2, Harry Crawford, he got 2 wins and the championship in the All Super Speedway inspired holiday season. So he's gonna be a huge threat if he decides to make a late move. 3 laps to go now. It looks to be a bit of a stalemate for the time being. The outside lane has now lost cars, so now the 2 lanes are even. Gibson hasn't been able to bypass Tala Aziz. 4th car in line, the number 14 Allied car. And here, bit of bobble from Eric Crawford, and that's going to end his chances unless there's a wreck to benefit into his favor. 2 laps to go now. Now that shakes up quite a bit as this now 3rd in line with the Grand P2 directly behind William Viola. 2 laps to go. 1.5 now. Coming to the white flag this time. The outside lane just hasn't been able to generate big of a run, and now they're just losing cars left and right. Aziz fucks at top, saying but the ground before Aziz goes back down to the bottom to take the white flag. P2 behind William Viola. I don't know if that was the right move to make. It now Aziz can't go anywhere because of that 77 leading that outside lane in front of Stephen Gibson. But they're gonna quickly abandon him as they're gonna take it 3 wide. Gibson with the cast. But Aziz is gonna try the outside, very outside. They're gonna nearly wreck it, and they do behind. But through 3 and 4, William Viola has been unchallenged all night. And what in a dominating display of performance, William Viola wins the BPNR Clash. Gonna be a lot of back. P2 is Aziz. P4 actually. Where is P3? Says Gibson. So he's retired. 25 scheduled. Laps completed. No overtime necessary. And gonna try to find Viola. Here he is. Guy just cycled past him. 27 car with a pretty unique design to it. Going to come around the banking and hopefully perform a burnout for us. There are late charges towards the lead, but they're all just more out of self-desperation of everything, instead of just teaming up to take down the 27 car. That's just how Daytona races usually end. A little bit of door banking as sign of respect for the race winner. Biela's gonna spin it into the grass, and he will likely cherish this win in the BPNR Clash. Probably do that. There we go. So the R is gonna get a little bit jumbled because you're not supposed to cross the line. But that's how it is. think everyone left the track already. Yeah, they did. So that will conclude tonight's activities from BPNR. Um, I do not have the results here, which is strange, but regardless, the order's jumbled up and I'm gonna have to go through replay to double check that. But regardless, William Viola, your winner in the BPNR clash. It is Alexander Gazelle. No, new numbers is gonna take me a little bit. It is Landon Lonneback in the 11th card now through Season A, who's finished P2. Stephen Gibson, P3. Tal Aziz, P4. With Joshua Clements, top 5. Miss Barnett, P6. Harry Crawford, P7. Cameron McElrea's P8. Dallas Sheik, P9. And Jelani Howell, your top 10. Cole Rodriguez, P11, but Dylan DeGrant, P12. Ada Lacasse, 13th. Alexander Gonzalez Green, 14th. If that's even correct, that is. Okay, I'm gonna restart for P11 because order. P11, Cole Rodriguez, P12, Dylan DeGrom, P13, Alexander Gonzalez Green, Carter Friesen, P14, Aiden Lacasse, P15, B. Kirsten Bell, P16, Ladalal, P17, and Daniel Rodriguez finishing, not finishing the race in 18th. Gonna cut back here because I meant to show this, the final wreck, that ultimately took out the back half of the field. It looked like Bumper Grand burned end and then it just came back up the track with not really much of an option. And that sent Kirsten Bell stuck it on a wall. That collected Dylan DeGrom, Cole Rodriguez. It'll be Ada Lacasse, Alexander Gonzalez Green, defending champion. And across the line sideways was Stephen Gibson and Joshua Clements. Jelani Howell also wrecking, but just enough to finish P10. Carter Friesen going to finish the race backwards. Personally, I don't like that, but that's not my discretion on whether or not he'll get penalized. Or I shouldn't say penalized because it is a expedition event, but it's just some sort of action that shouldn't be encouraged, I should put it. Any late onboards? Shall see. No one's wanting to be interviewed for the time being. Alice Shake, who was at the tail end of the field, sneaks his way into the 9th place finish. Oh, he turned Jelani on. Don't think that's how he wanted to grab P9 after avoiding a big wreck like that. P9 is a P9. Okay, now we can go to this screen. Still no one to interview, so... Coming up in NR, we got Friday night action. A little bit weird to mention Budweiser Cup since that's usually the start of my streaming activities, but since this is a Tuesday race, they'll get mentioned here. With their championship finale starring Jack Merkel and Bryson Baker that shall take place at Homestead Miami Speedway 9 p.m. on Belling Cup Racing Productions per the usual. Gnarl will also host their season finale, this time being at Las Vegas, the default version of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That will be 10 p.m. on Cheese Food Media. Whether or not I'll be there to broadcast it, or commentate there, rather, is depending on whether Budweiser takes too long. Saturday, OSCC also a championship race. Their season shall end at Michigan. The championship has already been decided with Landon Lyle with a one race lead over Robbie Gilbert. So that will begin at 7:55 at their usual spots. Sunday, DSRA with the penultimate race coming from Martinsville Speedway. Jonathan Salas, after his engine failure at Talladega, now has his lead cut in half, with Tyler Z's performing pretty good in terms of points. He still has a chance to win this championship. So that shall conclude the broadcast at very minimum. So next time on BPNR, next Tuesday, will be the BPNR Daytona duels. They should expect a lot of action, trying to fight for 17 spots to make up the top 34. That will race that will be guaranteed into next Friday's race, the BPNR Daytona 125. But is that the last scrape of them? Also on that Friday will be the last chance qualifier to make up the final 2 spots. So that shall be it. So until Friday with the Budweiser Cup Series, I shall see you then.